Let's begin this morning with those massive wildfires that are tearing through parts of the southeast this morning. A state of emergency is in place for 91 counties in southern Georgia. That's half of the state. The flames have destroyed dozens of homes. Officials say the fire spread so quickly in some areas that residents had no warning. CBS News correspondent Skyler Henry joins us from Waynesville, Georgia this morning. Skyler, where are you? What are you seeing?
Yeah, Vlad, we are in what we believe to have been a mobile home park in this area where we know that there has been a considerable amount of damage because of the fire that we have seen all throughout this area. If you look off into the distance, that is what an upstanding mobile home is. And right here is what we believe to have been something just the same, completely leveled by the fire. And you can look around and see all of the personal belongings that have been damaged, everything from stoves to toys that are left inside of this area. If you look over here, there is the shell of a car with all sorts of belongings inside. There's some cans in there. Looks like some other people's personal belonging inside of this can as well. And we've been here throughout the last 24 hours or so, really looking to see sort of the extent of this damage. The air quality is still pretty tough in this area. It's tough to breathe, hence the N95s. Officials say that they are concerned about these extremely dry conditions that will continue to linger in and around this area as well. It's expected to be in the upper 80s here. And they say that there isn't going to be any sort of precipitation, at least for the next several days. And it's only going to be a little bit, though firefighters are hoping that that can help a little bit as far as containment here. Where we are in Brantley County, the fire is about 15% contained. About 65 miles from here is what they're calling the Pineland Road fire. That's only about 10% contained at this hour. More than 100 firefighters are working that as well. A lot of resources are needed in this area, so much so that the Georgia National Guard is sending troops out here as well. We should expect to see them on the ground in the next several hours. They will be assisting officials both on the ground and in the air as this fire continues to spread.
And I mean, look, my heart is going out to the folks that were in the area that you're standing there. I mean, you're talking about the toys, the remnants of someone's life. It's really important. Yeah. I appreciate that you brought that context. What more do we know about the fires that are popping up in sort of northern Florida, right on the border with Georgia?
Yeah, well, they are continuing to pop up, and their concern, Kelly, is that these will continue to spread because of these extreme drought conditions. You guys pointed out the state of emergency that is in effect here in Georgia for so many states, nearly half of them in this state because of the conditions. There's also a burn ban notice. There's also all sorts of measures in place to try to limit the amount of wildfire. I talked about the air quality before, but also you have to take into consideration, Kelly, more than 4 dozen homes just in Brantley County alone have been leveled, so much so that people have had to evacuate to nearby churches, libraries, and the rest to just try to get out of this wildfire's path. Officials say that they are also concerned about 1,000 other structures, including houses, potentially being in the path of this wildfire, so much so that I pointed out the National Guard will be here. Other emergency response personnel will be here in the matter of hours all throughout the state, coming in to help as quickly as they can because they are concerned that this will continue to get much worse.
All right, Skyler Henry reporting for us this morning from Georgia. Skyler, stay safe. I see you're wearing that mask to prevent that inhalation. Be careful out there, my friend.
All right, CBS News meteorologist Rob Marciano is here tracking the forecast.
Yeah, not great. And then the smoke's not going to only be an issue there, but across Georgia and much of the southeast.
Because the winds can really take it.
Yeah, and we've got more than one fire burning. So that's an issue, obviously. These are the 3 big ones, and including the smaller ones, we've got over 100 incidents just in Florida alone. So you can imagine in other spots we've got smoke issues also. We have increased the humidity level a little bit. The Trax fire, this is the one in Florida that turned that train around earlier in the week. And the humidity level is still very, very low, especially in the middle of the afternoon for the fires across parts of southern Georgia. The good news today is the winds are not as extreme as they were 2 days ago. So just an enhanced fire danger, but no rain, no real rain in the forecast until we get to the weekend. And even that is like barely going to be anything. So the smoke's an issue. Atlanta, Metro and surrounding areas, you're under a air quality advisory, and also South Carolina, much of South Carolina, especially from the coastline. You can see how our computer models kind of spread that smoke out. And I think much of the southeast will at least see some dimming of the sunshine, if not at all smelling some of that smoke. All right, this is the front that will bring a little bit of rain to the southeast over the weekend. But what it's going to do across the midsection of the country today is bring a pretty good threat of seeing some thunderstorms that will produce some severe weather and potentially even some ones that have some tornadoes from Oklahoma up through Kansas City, maybe Des Moines as well. And that severe weather threat with this front will actually extend right through the weekend. So we'll discuss that more in a little bit, but we're all hoping for some rain to get to the southeast. But
they really need it.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it.